What's good, guys? I don't know if many of you guys
Colby Covington
tuned into UFC 296. And before this video start, I'm gonna just say my part on it that I was never a fan of Kobe's character, so-called character that he put on, but I I was able to look past it because he proved himself to be a good fighter in the octagon on multiple occasions. So I kind of rooted for him, and because he'd had a couple shots at a title shot and never gotten it, um, I would have been happy for him if he won this. But then after the press conference where he, uh, yeah, spoke badly on Leon Edwards' deceased father, which not just me, but basically everybody thinks he took it too far, which he did. Um, it's one thing to say that, but to say that and then get in the octagon and put on such a bad performance that Kobe put on, all that trash talk just to go out there and, be a sitting duck basically doing nothing. So, this guy is titled the video is not a fan anymore. So that's how I feel too. Right now I've been seeing little clips of Kobe on social media and videos about him that I just have no interest. I see it and I'm like, oh, scumbag. Um, and about his career being over, yeah, I think it probably is.
just committed career suicide. This guy managed to destroy all of his chances of ever getting a title shot. He also ruined his image. He ruined his entire fan base. And he also ruined his relationship with Donald Trump. This motherfucker lost everything. And honestly, it's his fault. I know he doesn't care, but he even lost me as a fan too. And yeah, it was sad, but more disappointing to see what Colby Covington did. Because not only did he talk that shit, and to be fair, I know it's wrong, but if I was a fan of him before that, then why would I change up now? Because he did mock Usman's coach's death. So I knew his game, but at the end of the day, I just loved the chaos. That was his entire brand, causing chaos outside of the fight and inside of the fight. Also just being a really top level fighter who's entertaining as hell. But on this night, the saving grace was always his performance in the cage. It just wasn't there. The grit, the pace, his two redeeming qualities for his chaotic, stuttering personality, grit and pace, was just gone. I don't know what the hell happened in that fight. I thought he was injured or something happened, but ultimately he did just fight stupid.
That's exactly what I said before the video, and I watched the fight live. And my theory is Kobe was intimidated, but also had fear to fight Leon Edwards from the beginning. He was fearful. And not just like the type of, you know, nervousness that every fighter will have. I think Kobe genuinely feared Leon because you gotta think, Leon is the guy who beat Usman twice and got the belt, and Kobe fought Usman 3 times and lost. So I think that was in his head. But also just Leon is such an elite striker and a good fighter. He's showed in this fight that he's good at grappling. He was better at grappling and wrestling than Kobe in this fight. And he has great takedown defense. And what I think is that when Kobe crossed the line at the press conference and said what he said about his father, I think deep down Kobe felt bad about it, like he didn't want to show it, but I think every man knows morals and knows what's right and what's wrong, and when you've gone too far. And I think after that press, Kobe was probably thinking to himself, "Ah, shit, that was probably a bit too much." And most people believe in karma. So I think going into the octagon, Kobe knew he was gonna lose, and I think Kobe just wanted to go the 5 rounds. He would wanted to avoid getting knocked out because while he put on such a bad performance, Kobe did that it's bad anyway. But you know, if you get knocked out, it's always more like how people talk online, like, you got knocked out. But Kobe not getting knocked out and going the 5 rounds and doing as shit as he did. There's funny jokes online, you know, like which is true that um there was a it intervened. There was a situation with Strickland and Duplessis, and Strickland basically got to Duplessis and hit him maybe like 4 or 5, maybe 6 times. There's a lot of jokes going around that Strickland threw or landed more punches than Kobe did this entire 5 rounds, which is hilarious. But yeah, back to what this guy's saying.
It genuinely pisses me off when I see high level fighters like Colby and even Leon too in the fight do the most dumbest things imaginable. I honestly don't know how Colby or his team could have thought that being patient with Leon Edwards was the right move to go, trying to strike with him in kickboxing range on the back foot. In my breakdown, when I was discussing how Colby could win, the number one thing
I just want to hear what this guy's gonna say. Well, I'm gonna say it before he says it. Is wrestling. Kobe needed to wrestle. He needed to control the fight, have the takedowns, ground and pound, try to get the TKO or the submission. That was the only way he's winning the fight.
the most important strategy was to just put the pace on Leon. He did not do that. And the only way he can put a pace on someone is if he's walking forward, throwing flurries of strikes, or chain wrestling. Who cares if Leon is going to stuff the first 10? You gotta go Marab mode. That is literally Kobe's fight style. And he only did it at the 5th round after Leon chewed up his legs. You know, I saw it in that matchup, you know, southpaw versus southpaw, that leg kick is going to be wide open. But if Kobe would just stick to the wrestling like how Usman did, then he would have had a much closer fight. And I believe my analysis is right. And it's surprising, but I'm going to be honest, I know more about fighting than Colby Covington. I gave him, or his team at least, because my game plan is 100% better than what Kobe just tried to do. I don't know if he really was that dumb, because I know he's just gonna say bullshit for the cameras, but in his mind, I wonder if he really thought that was the game plan. Because if he did, I'm smarter than a world-class fighter. Or if he was just injured, or maybe the sad reality is that he's washed. Because I'm not gonna lie, he did look tired throughout the fight. And I know
That's another thing. Kobe did look more tired throughout the fight. It's true. He still had energy, you know, but it wasn't the same as he's been before. And I don't think I could even listen to it all, but his post-fight speech here with Joe Rogan, it's just like, that's the thing too, where I feel like he could have saved a bit of face by saying, guys, I fucked up, I crossed the line, I was trying to sell the fight, but I shouldn't have said that about Leon's dad. I performed badly tonight. I need to go back to the you know to what I say to the board to the drawing board. Uh, Go back to the coaches and fix it. But he just put a. I feel like he said some of that stuff, but he put so much extra bullshit in there. And then him afterwards saying that he won the fight too, and it's like, bro, like I've seen some controversial or like debatable fights where you could say it was close, but bro, it was nowhere near close. I watched the whole fight. Kobe was getting dominated the whole time. He didn't land a single punch. It was horrible, honestly, from him.
No, Kobe does get tired. I'm not saying like Kobe never gets tired. Like, cause Marab is crazy. He was not tired after 5 rounds. But you always saw like Kobe would get tired, but it would always be after the most hectic, chaotic fight you ever seen. The RDA fight, the strikes, the takedowns, the back and forth. And he only started breathing hard in the 5th round and still pushing through it. But in this fight, like by the 4th round, when Leon was reversing position and they were going back and forth in the grappling, Colby just looked slower and weaker. Yeah, I think it was a combination of both. Bad game planning, and I think Colby Covington is actually washed, or it could be the severe case of ring rust, but I do not believe that. I think he's washed. And he just lost me as a fan. Or at least I'm not a fan of the current version of Colby Covington. I will always respect what he did in his career. He had fun ass fights. He was a champion, world class talent, and just overall entertaining on the mic and in the octagon. So even though I do kind of hate him now and not a fan of his anymore, of this current version of Kobe coping on the mic, I'll always respect what he did. And yeah, this is really the end for Colby Covington and the end for me in being a fan of his. Pretty sad, honestly. And to touch upon Leon Edwards, good for him, got it back for his dad. But to be honest, he literally fought the same. Like, this is a regular Leon Edwards performance, like a classic. Do good in the early rounds, outstrike the other guy who isn't really doing much, and gas out and lose the 5th, like always. I honestly thought that Leon was gonna do more, put the heat on him, like be more aggressive because of the comments that Kobe made about his dad. But no, it was just a regular decisionator performance. I really thought that that fight really got spiced up, but sucks. That's 2 years in a row now. Two terrible cards to end off the year. For now on, only put Charles all.
Just to kind of disagree with what he said. So he said that, well, you heard what he said. I think Leon played the perfect game plan because you got to think with the emotional, him being emotional about what Colby said about his father. Whenever you get emotional or angry in a fight, that's when you slip up and make mistakes. And so it was smart of him to realize he had to not do that to make sure he wins the fight. He played it very strategically. He out grappled Colby when it came to the grappling. His kickboxing was perfectly on point and strategic. He messed up Colby's leading leg. He got the job done, and you got to think Leon isn't just some guy going up the ranks now. He is the champion in the welterweight division. And when you're the champion, the goal is to stay the champion. And when you go looking for knockouts and trying to do certain things, that's how you lose the belt. So I think Leon made the right decision. And again, it shows him as a man that, you can trash talk and say heinous things about his family and really insult the guy, like go cross the line, and he will come out the same fighter as if nothing was said, put on the same performance. And I think that's something that if you look at Alex Pereira, that he does the same too. With Pereira, everybody always thinks, especially recently going up to light heavyweight in his past fights, they always think, oh, he's gonna lose. This is his weakness here. But he sticks to his game plan. Pereira sticks to his game plan, wins every time. That last fight against what's his name? Uh, the guy from Czech Republic. Can't remember his name right now, but so many people thought the guy from Czech was gonna win. And even I was surprised when in the first round Alex Pereira had already messed up his leg. And it's the same with Leon. It's like he's he's a great kickboxer, a great striker. They know what they're doing. I think he got the job well done. It would have been nice to have seen Colby knocked out, but who cares? I think I'm just saying this now, but the thing is, if you would have knocked Colby out in a whatever round, there would always be the whole, oh well, fluke punch, fluke kick, run it back, right? But the fact that Leon beat him every 5 rounds and they were both standing at the end, and there's no debate of, oh well, that was a lucky punch or kick. No, Leon delivered strategic punches and kicks throughout the whole fight, and he won. So I don't see any reason for there to be a rematch between them. I think if Colby wants to continue to fight, he needs to go back down the rankings and fight some lower ranking guys and kind of prove himself. But he still has that fighting style in him at all.
Oliveira at the end of the year, please. Because if you remember UFC 269, that shit was a banger. And fuck, that was such a good way to end off the year. Yeah, that's it.
Shout out Charles Oliveira, man. Big fan of him.